Hey, welcome back to Kingdom Power World Radio. We have a special guest today, Leonardo Rivera. And Rivera Enterprises, they're an amazing company. It's a growth company. And they're into something that I love and many of us love, which are cars, design, motors, and making a living at this. Why did you go into this professionally? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for having me here, Pastor.
Oh yeah, you had to drop that one out there. That I'm a pastor, huh?
Yeah,
you had to put that out there.
That's how I've known you all my life. You know, mentor, pastor.
Oh, thank you.
A great friend, best friend.
Thank you.
Someone I can, always call and you'll always be there.
Oh wow, thank you.
But how I got into the car industry.
Yeah.
That's something I loved since a little kid. It was just my passion.
Yeah.
It was my passion. I used to, just grow up and just think cars, all day. It was sports, cars, and that's it. That was my life growing up.
And the thing about this, as you started this journey, you sort of started this journey and something special happened. You got married at what age?
23.
23 years old. Wow. And you have a beautiful daughter. I got to just brag on your daughter, Olivia, and your beautiful wife, Christina. She's here also. Later on we'll have her stick her head in and say hi to everyone. But the evolution of this, I watched you as a young man. I watched you go into, your passion. Yeah. But along the way, you had some detours. You had some setbacks. Can you tell us a couple of setbacks that you had?
Well, growing up, everyone goes through it. Yeah, that rebel stage, where things don't, you go into the world and you realize the world is rough, it's cruel. Growing up, I think I was 13, 14. That's when, I started turning,
Wow. When you say you started turning, challenges came up
Yeah, challenges. That's when I started becoming angry and mad at everybody and mad at the world,
Okay.
When my parents split up,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's when everything just started changing. I started rebelling, hanging out with people that, I considered family at the time.
Right.
And they showed me a love that I needed at that certain time.
Right. But consistently, you always stayed with, no matter what, you stayed in the automotive industry. You stayed in your passion.
Yeah.
So I see it as, you're doing these designs and everything. So it's art and muscle cars, and you stayed with it. Why did you stick with this instead of just sticking in college?
Honestly, when I started getting heavy into the whole mechanic scene and started getting heavy into competition and all that, as far as the streets,
Yeah. I want to know this competition, as far as racing and.
I don't condone street racing anymore. I used to a lot when I was, a lot younger, but that's when I was about 18, 19. I started getting heavy. I went to UTI.
Okay.
I started going to UTI for a little bit.
Not too far from here.
No, not too far from here. It was kind of far from where I was living.
Yeah, exactly.
Riverside.
Yeah,
it's pretty far. Started going to UTI. Didn't finish UTI. I actually dropped out just because of work.
Okay.
I needed to start working. I didn't have enough money for gas to go back and forth, or just didn't have money for my shoes or clothes or something to eat every day.
So you had a working life wasn't handed to you?
No, life wasn't handed to me. Yeah, some things yes and no.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I worked for everything I have.
So, and I know you talked about your parents briefly, but just what kind of example were they to you, at the positive side of your father and your mom, how they dealt with these changes?
Well, my mom, she showed me, what it is to walk in the path and stay true to yourself.
Okay.
She showed me how to be just a humble person, and she showed me everything, as far as religion side and just staying true to your word,
Okay.
And my father showed me just all work ethic.
Yeah, he's a machine, man.
I've seen him, growing up, I hardly seen him, He was always working. He worked for the Department of Water and Power of Los Angeles.
Wow.
He was, what was he? He was a machinist.
And you saw his work ethic. You saw
Yeah.
him get up and go out and do it. And so did you adopt some of those things? I know you did, but
Some things, yeah, some things. But there was a time in my life where I could have took the same route, just followed under his footsteps and get into his company. Start working there, and that's some serious money there, You're talking about starting off close to $100,000 a year,
Right.
But that's money wasn't my
Wasn't your motivator?
motivation.
Yeah.
No, money wasn't.
You stuck with your passion.
Yeah.
And now you have an awesome location. And what do you think about your shop, the journey?
The journey was rough, very rough, tough. The competitors that I have, just the vendors that that I've known and, came to create a relationship with. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough in the beginning because.
What do you guys do?
I
What
got
is it,
thrown in
from
the
the A
wolves
to
den.
Z? I've seen it, but from A to Z, some of the things you do. Someone comes in there with their car,
I do everything there.
such as, how about wheels?
I finance wheels. I do wheel setups. You're coming in, with no knowledge of your car. You got a Japanese car or any type of car you want to stance it out.
So you're not prejudiced about
No, I take U.S. domestic, Korean cars. I take it all, man. I work on everything.
Yeah, okay. Now, the kind of clients that come in to see you and the kind of clubs that come in to see you, why do they keep coming back? You have a loyal base and it's growing. Why is that?
I'm just honest. I try to stay honest and be, who I am. I've been to different, race car shops or mechanic shops in general that do general mechanic work, and they just try to get as much money as they can from each customer, And I try to just be as honest as possible, even if it's, the littlest thing,
Yeah.
I just try to be honest as possible with
I noticed that when people come into you make them feel at home when they come into your store.
Yeah.
And I know that you were looking forward to having different locations. Now, it's a family business, but it's got different dynamics. Explain how that works with your family business. You have your wife, your daughter, and your brother's in the family business. He has his own business as well.
Yeah.
And your sister's going, she's developing her own business.
Yeah.
And so that mindset, where'd it come from?
Honestly, I started working construction when I was, I'm gonna say 13 years old. I got into this work program in summer school, and I remember it was through the church. I used to go through this church called the Grove in Riverside. At that time, they were located off of Victoria and Central.
Okay.
And my mom used to take me there every, Thursdays and every Tuesday nights for Bible studies.
Okay.
And they used to have, church there for younger kids, that were in high school.
Okay.
And there was this, we were going out to, Mexico.
Okay.
I forgot what place in Mexico it was. I think it was somewhere in, I'm going to just say Tijuana,
Okay.
It was by there. It was such a long time ago. It's
Okay.
very faint. I just remember some of the
things
we did, but we went out there to build homes for
Okay.
the people out there in Mexico.
So you guys have been doing missions work and exposed to your faith. You keep bringing your faith up, so that you bring faith into business?
Yeah. Every day, man. I always say my prayers, ask God to keep me safe, especially if I'm under a car or, lifting up a car. Anything can happen, Throw out my back if I'm picking something too heavy up.
Right.
I do intensive labor right now,
Now, you said that you made a decision, we had talked earlier before we started the show, but you had made that decision a long time ago that you were going to stick with your dream.
Yeah.
And these obstacles came up. What were the two biggest tests, Leo? What were the two biggest tests that almost made you quit your dream? The two things that almost made you quit your dream of owning your own shop, successful shop.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been open now?
It's going on 3 years.
3 years. Okay, you busted that 2-year mark. 3 years. What were the two challenges, Leo, that I want you to talk to the audience about that because people are giving up right now. There are a lot of people that they've lost their hope, they've lost their dream. The sparkle is gone. They don't believe. But part of the show that we have here, and I'm so thankful that you're on it, it's because we want to give hope to America. We believe, we love our country, we bless the world, but we believe there's hope in this country. It's a good country. And here you and I are, here as entrepreneurs, as men that want to help our country, and you stayed in this profession, and I know that there are two major things that happened to you that you could have quit and walked away. What were they, and why did you stick?
Well, the first obstacle I had, I think I was open for about, like a few months, and the first year is just hard, period.
Yeah.
I remember the first month, man, I only made $900 the first month. And that was just because of opening day, and nobody showed up. It was just rough,
Wow.
I had money saved up, so I was using the money I had saved up to
Whoa.
basically live off of.
Okay.
But yeah, I just that was the first obstacle. The first month, man, I was just like, what am I doing?
Wow.
Why am I here?
Yeah.
I need to go back to work.
And the bill collectors didn't call you or nothing like that, did they?
No, they kept calling, man. I had to pay bills, loans I pulled out for some of the product that I had at the shop.
Okay.
For the tools that I have, for just basically everything I had there. When I started, I wasn't doing no mechanical work,
Okay.
whatsoever. It was just strictly sales.
So you somehow got past that 30 days, and then you got to the next month, and another challenge came up.
Yeah, within the first 3 months after I opened up, my wife's little sister Laura, she was passing away. She had a terminal illness of cancer. She had cancer in her foot, and prior to that, she was born with a sickness, with a skin disease, to where she always had to be wrapped up.
Yeah.
24 hours of the day.
Yeah.
Any little touch you give her, she would blister up. Yeah. It was rough, man. That was one of the hardest things I had to deal with. As far as the shop, that was tough because I had to be there.
Right.
Even though someone I cared was dying and I couldn't be there, that was rough. And then my wife, she was supposed to be there helping me, but
Right.
it was just me manning everything
Right.
on my own.
Right.
And between me and my wife's relationship, that was very rough also.
Right. Right.
It was a crossroad for us.
Yeah. What got
It
you
really
through
was.
it? What got you through it?
Honestly, just prayer and just continuing forward, just taking whatever life has to give to you, just continue walking forward, regardless of how you feel or if you want to quit or give up. You just continue forward,
And I saw the work that your family put into it as a family business, the support that had to go both ways.
Yeah.
And your mom and dad, and your brother and his company, your sister, the company that she's starting, and all these things were going on, and you were there, and you were building all this and working on all these things. It was like over 100 degrees out there.
It was like 120.
Yeah, it was
120 degrees.
It was hot. It was really hot.
This summer was pretty hot.
And you did.
Also.
You guys did all the build out yourself.
Yeah, everything.
So now that you're looking back at the journey, as you're talking about this, what would what's the inspiration that you would give others that are right now thinking about, I just quit, I've had enough, whether they want to quit their marriage, whether they want to quit their business, or they don't even think they're going to make it. I know that you're humble. I know that you're the kind of guy that doesn't like to talk about a lot of deep issues with strangers. But some people need that inspiration. What would you tell them?
What helped me was just honestly praying, fasting. I'm not perfect. I really am not. There'll be days where I'm just cussing up a storm at a car. But what helped was just prayer. A lot of surround yourself with people that uplift you.
Right.
People
Well, you've got
that
a wife
uplift
that
you
loves you, and you've got your beautiful daughter. So how did that play? How did that come into the mix?
Meeting Tina.
Yes.
Meeting Tina. I was at I was at a quinceañera when I met her.
Okay.
A friend was throwing a quinceañera. He was a DJ there, and he called me up and, hey, do you want to come down? I said, sure. I go down there, and back then, you know, I was just, I was running
Lighten
amok.
up, brother.
You know?
You're smiling
Yeah,
just
I
thinking
was
about it.
running
Yeah.
amok. But I guess you had to wear a certain type of clothing to get into the club.
Okay.
So, and I was wearing red everything, you know. I had
Okay.
my red A hat, I had red shirt, red shoes. I was all flamed up at the time. But I go in and right away I get kicked out. I'm like, dang. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to leave this party. And then, you know, my friend Ernie comes out. He's like, no, just, you know, let me borrow some clothes. And I go back in and sure enough, I see Tina there. I'm like, oh, dang.
Now she's here, you know, with your daughter.
Yeah.
And what kind of role has she played in a supportive role or helping you to keep going, both of you? Because you guys had some real challenges as far as those revenues, building it all out,
Yeah.
the shop itself. What do you have to say about your wife and her role?
If it wasn't for Tina right now, you know, I would be neck high in paperwork, you know.
Mm-hmm. Administration.
Yeah,
Huh?
she takes
Yeah.
care of all the paperwork, man.
Okay.
You know, she helps me. She's great at, you know, customer service.
Yeah.
She helps me find vendors when I need to find certain parts. Yeah, and she's just a great help overall, man.
Now I'm going to throw you under the bus. It's a family business. Mom and Dad have been there, helping you,
Yeah.
getting it going. How are you structuring yourself, or how is it that you honor your mom and dad? I know by being here, it's an honor to your family, and you know your brother has his business also, and we'd like to have him on the show one day too. But how do you honor your mom and dad? What's your future, or what's your plan on honoring them in this journey?
Just giving them enough money to, you know, not struggle.
Okay.
You know, not worry about money. You know.
Okay.
It's not. I'm not wanting to give them a whole large amount. You know, like millions of dollars. No, but I want to give back to, you know, what they gave me. You know.
Yeah.
Just have them live stress-free, basically.
Yeah.
You know, my dad's worked all his life, and it's rough working, you know, with your hands. It's hard.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
It puts a strain on it ages you fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my mom, she's just been there, you know, being a warrior in Christ, you know.
Yeah.
Just battling, praying, worshiping.
If you had it to do over again, and you had the opportunity to go the journey that you're going on, or do something different, would you continue in the same journey?
Well, everyone will change up a little bit of things, you know. But how I would change something up is right after high school, I would have started this.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
I would have started a lot sooner.
All right. All right.
I would've-
So is that courage and faith, or it's just, you know, pursuing your dream?
Yeah, just pursue, do something you love, and you never work a day in your life. Yeah, it gets a little stressful sometimes,
Right.
overwhelming, you know.
Right.
But then, you know, you just cry out to the Lord, and you know, ask Him to take off, you know, some of that weight off you, you know. And He brings people into your life. He always comes in at the right time.
Yeah.
And just
It's
unexplainable.
You're at your juncture there is Lake Elsinore, and you're right there on the.
I'm on the ghetto side. I'm on the straight hood side of Lake Elsinore. Like, it's honestly, like, at night, I'm closing up the doors. I'm watching my back. You know, I'm like, oh,
Right.
It's like The Walking Dead, literally.
Yeah.
You see
But
all
I've
kinds
seen
of
I've seen
random
you
people
still in that they're like light in a dark area, because you know we love that area. We love it.
Yeah.
And I've watched you help people in so many ways.
Yeah.
I've seen you help with the vehicles. I've seen you help them with food. I've
Yeah.
seen you help them with direction.
Yep.
And sometimes people like to come there and they like to hang out.
Yeah.
And they get their inspiration back. Now I know, what's it like going through employees? What's it like getting someone to be a part of your staff? Is that a challenge?
Yeah, that was very hard. I'm still working at it, you know.
Yeah.
But I started off with just people showing up. You know, there's people that I've met, you know, a couple years back when I started the business, to where we're close. You know, we're
Yeah.
good friends. You know, I mean,
Right.
good friends. and they would just come in and help me, not even ask for money.
I know,
whatever,
I've
you
seen
know?
them.
I was like, yo,
Yeah.
that's cool. He's like, no, man, you're teaching me. I want to learn. I want to be here.
Now you got a great guy there now, Adam, and he's just, you know, showed up at the right time.
Yeah.
Do you think that as you guys continue to grow and as your company grows, are you coming up with an idea on what your vision looks like for the future?
Oh yeah. If God wants me to stay in Lake Elsinore, I have a vision there. But if He moves me to a different location, maybe in Lake Elsinore, or you know, in a bigger city where there's, you know, more income to come,
Okay.
or just a better work environment to where, you know, when it's hot, we're not dying out there, you know,
Right.
at 120-degree weather.
Right. So you believe that you should pay your dues.
Yeah.
It shouldn't just be given to you,
No, not at all.
right?
No. And
Right.
I feel like the worker that I have right now, you know, I don't call him a worker. You know, everyone that asks me, "Oh, did you work it?" No, I work with him. You know,
Right.
We work together. You know, I don't want to. I don't like saying that. You know, I'm in charge of you. I don't
Right.
like being a bully because I've been bullied all my life in
Really?
the workforce. Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I've been. I'm a very quiet person. You know, I always have.
Mm-hmm.
And especially at work, I was always, okay, Leo, go do that. I'm like, all right. I never said nothing, get the job done, and then start the next one. You know, I've been doing that basically all my life, until I started 3 years ago.
Now, one of the things I want to ask you about is just what's parked outside here, what's underneath the hood. The reason I'm asking that question, Leo, it's because in life, and I see it with myself and other people, you start a project and it looks like it's dead.
Yeah.
And you want to see your projects complete. I hate unfinished projects. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And I don't like it when God tells me you're going to have to be patient.
Yeah.
You're going to have to wait. But how long did it take you to get that motor in that? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I bought the car back in 2000, I believe 2011. And I think like a year or two later, I blew the motor up. Yeah, I just blew it up. I was going about, man, I rebuilt the head.
Mm-hmm.
I put some SuperTech valves, springs, retainers, cams, bigger turbo, and yeah, I drove it without a tune, and I kind of, you know, I have a heavy foot, so I was going over 100 miles an hour when it happened. Yeah, the engine just shut off. It seized on me.
And so now,
blew up.
yeah, blew up, and
yeah.
so you took your time. This is a labor of love outside,
Yeah,
right?
So since 2013, I believe, the car's been sitting. I just recently got it up and going this year.
How's it feel?
It feels like a race car, man. Yeah.
It feels like a race car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do it because you love.
Yeah.
You love. And you know, one of the things that I'm so amazed about, and it's happened with me, it's happened with other people, when you start to create and co-create together, when you start to put something together, one of the things I saw about Leo and his family, his beautiful family, is, yeah, they had challenges, but they took the step forward. They went forward anyway. They didn't just make excuses on why it couldn't be done. I remember when you got your shelves. I remember when you started painting. I remember when your dad and you were doing the build out. I remember all the things, you know, the most amazing thing was how he would always talk about his dad. You know, as guys, you don't usually tell a guy what you think.
Yeah.
But I would hear all the things you would say about your mom and dad, how you would tear up just talking about how you love them and how you cared about them. It's always hard to explain it, you know, face to face as your dad, it's your mom, you know. But I would hear you talk about it, how you want your dad to be proud of you, how you love your mom, you know, you love your wife, is obvious, and your daughter, and you respect your brother so much, you know, you love him too, but you respect him so much, and your sister. So I just want everyone to know that the reason this quiet, humble man is in the studio is because I watched his life be an inspiration to other people. I watched people that didn't believe in him, some did, some didn't. They kicked him to the curb, and he stayed loyal to his family. He stayed loyal to being a king, to walk out kingdom principles. So we talk about kingdom principles quite a bit. So later on, you're going to be able to get in contact. You're going to be able to talk to Leo. He's got his social media all set up. You'll be able to talk to him. You'll be able to connect with him and develop that relationship. And I think it's important that people understand that it is a tough journey.
Yeah.
And we need each other to help get up off the canvas sometimes. You get knocked down, and you need somebody to help you get back up. So I'm thankful that they can look at you, and we were talking about millennials, and we're talking about different kind of millennials,
Yeah.
and different kind. I mean, not to put a label on you, but we got a little bit, just a few more minutes left. We're wrapping this up here, but what kind of advice would you give to millennials or to those that are younger? Can they work with older people in a balance?
Yeah, they
Is it them against us, or is it a balance?
No, it just, from what I noticed, working with a lot of wise older men, that's how I gained my knowledge in the mechanical world. For all the younger guys out there, man, 13, 14, barely molding their lives, just all they got to do is just listen, just keep their mouth zipped up and just listen, man, because it's not all what you see on Instagram, all the videos you see, all the car builds you see, everything that you see on Instagram, it takes work, all the video production, like what we're doing here, it takes work.
Yeah.
It can't just happen, you can't
Right.
just jump into
Right.
things. You got to, blueprint what you want to do.
Right.
And then go forth.
Well, it's so important. I wanted to thank Miguel and Marco and Kevin James Production Company, because for me, the reason I love this production company is because they really take their time and help develop the programs. They help give a voice to us as we continue to grow. I thank you, and we want to thank you, Leo. I want to thank all the supporters. Those of you who have been supporting Kingdom Power World Radio 777, thank you so much. Thank you for calling, thank you for writing, and thank you for understanding. As we continue to grow, this is a station to inspire. We're going to have different guests on here, and the whole idea is to inspire you. The whole idea is to have guests come in here and let them explain their journey to you. And again, we're so thankful for the coaching programs that are available. And also, you do design work too. So when people
Yeah.
come to Rivera Enterprises and they come and check out what you're doing, you counsel, you coach, you do design, and you've got a great car club as well. That thing is growing as well too.
Yeah. It's, you can find me on Instagram. It's called Rivera Motorsports.
Yeah.
We do from, suspension work. We do engine swaps. We do clutch jobs. We do just about everything. Personal builds. Whatever you're looking to get done, we can get it done there.
I know you helped me out. That's why I can refer with confidence, because this guy, he literally saved my life on some work he did on my vehicle, and I'm taking all the rest of my stuff to you as well, so you're stuck with me. Again, Kingdom Power World Radio 777. Get in contact with us. And those of you who are interested in my coaching program, just let me know. Get in contact with me. We'll get back with you as soon as we can. We're growing, and we couldn't do it without you. We love you.